Welcome to Capture the World with Dee. Interviews with companies and individuals to learn more about digitally capturing the built world. Video, drone, 3D tours, pictures, panoramas, and more. And now your host, a social influencer and community activist, Dee Johnson.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Capture the World with Dee. I'm your host, Dee Johnson. My guest today is the CEO of EyeSpy360, the world's leading 360 virtual tour platform. They're very popular, they're up and coming as well. I see great things for them in the future. So without further ado, please help me welcome the CEO, Andrew Nichols. Hi, Andrew. Thanks for joining me today. How are you?
I'm good, Dee. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Great.
All right, so let's tell everybody and the whole world about EyeSpy360. Let's start out by having you tell us a little bit about yourself and
Fine,
how the company got started.
fine. So I am personally 44 years old, married, two children, live in London, England, and my background has been in tech generally since university, having studied information systems in university in England.
Mhm.
Um, Always been fascinated by technology. I'm a bit of a geek at heart. Well, I'm a geek, I guess so, but like to think a bit of a commercial geek. But always had my own businesses. Bottom line is, this company started back in, I think it was in 2015. I was walking around some shops, saw the latest iteration of a Ricoh Theta camera,
Mm.
picked it up, thought that's pretty cool, and thought there's got to be some business idea that could be formed out of that. So we actually started the business by building a platform that was going to distribute uh, concerts and sporting events with VR headsets. And that's where the business started. Within a few months, it became quite self-evident that it's probably something that was going to need funding for between 10 and 15 years. And we wanted to be profitable a lot quicker than that. So we pivoted, changed the platform, looked into different verticals, looked into the real estate space as a core,
Mhm.
realized there was a big opportunity, and started investigating the prop tech scene as a whole, and identified there was a lot of change on the way, big disruption. We don't necessarily see ourselves as a disruptor. We see ourselves as a facilitator of change, which in my mind is slightly different. We're not here to go out and put other companies out of business. We want to help support those businesses by bringing a new form of technology to these companies to allow them to be more productive and efficient. So we built the platform, went live in May 2016. And we've had quite a lot of organic growth. We've kept it very lean as a business. We are now, we have clients in about 77 countries around the world,
Wow.
all the way from Asia to the US, across Africa, Middle East, Australasia, etc. as well. And that's pretty much been all organic growth. Our philosophy from day one has always been about simplicity, affordability, and scalability. We saw an opportunity where companies would want to integrate products into their own systems as well.
Mm.
And that's where the scalability really came from as well. We wanted to build something that was scalable that would allow companies to do that. So I guess fundamentally what Intel was to computers, we want to be for 360 virtual tours. Probably the easiest way of explaining it. But we needed to make sure that it was simple and affordable.
Yeah.
As you're well aware, there's other platforms out there. They seem to be pretty expensive back then as well, and really only capturing a top 10, slightly plus or minus of the market. And we thought there's an opportunity out there to provide a service to the other 90%. And that's why we built that platform. We've always been extremely customer centric. And what that means for us and for our customers is we listen to them. Customer service has always been a massively important thing for us, communicating. I'm sure a majority get very frustrated with these tech companies where you go on their website, there's not a telephone number, you can't call anyone up, you can't speak to a human being. It's very frustrating. We didn't want to do that. We want to be a company where you can pick up the phone and speak to someone if there's an issue, and hopefully there's not many of them. So, as I said, always been very customer centric, and that's where our products really come from as well, is listening to what our customers want, because they're the ones that know, they're the ones with the feet on the ground working every single day in those spaces, and we're
Yep.
just here to facilitate really more than anything else. So our core product has evolved in very many different ways. We now have a suite of features that have been built around customer feedback. we have a very strong product pipeline over the next 24 months with some very exciting and unique features that products that we're going to be working on and bringing to market. But again, it's what we want to focus in on is just making things even simpler, easier, and quicker for the end user. And I think one of the really important aspects for our business as well is always having started out, and we will maintain to be agnostic with regarding cameras and image capture. We don't want to get involved in the hardware. We're not specialists at that. And I think it's also important, very akin to like the mobile phone industry, they're always evolving. Next year, the year after, there's a better mobile phone coming out as well. And we obviously envisage that being a very mobile first based company, that's the direction it's going in as well. So we want to allow our customers to choose what cameras they want to, because images and image quality and perception is very subjective. And where I would prefer a certain camera and the look of that, someone else prefers something else. So that's also quite key. So in summary, that's kind of where we are. Recently, I guess what we were envisaging growth-wise and what we were planning for over the next 2 years has been capitalized hugely regarding COVID-19. And that's really supported quite a lot of incoming and outgoing deals that we have been working on. To go back to what I was saying before about being the Intel of this industry, cite some examples: EXP Realty, EXP360 Tours, that's powered by EyeSpy360. Remax 360 Tours, again, that's a recent deal powered by EyeSpy360. We're about to launch another one with a very well-known brokerage, which I can't announce right now, but that's going to be announced in the next few weeks. Again, that's going to be powered by EyeSpy360. And we're working with quite a number of associations now. And probably one of the most recent ones is the California Association of Realtors, who we have exclusively integrated with, and that's going to be pushed out to around 180,000 plus agents in the California region, in addition to a deal where we've integrated with Lone Wolf Technologies, and that's being pushed out to, I think, around 1.3 million of their users as well.
Wow, that's my neighborhood.
There you go.
Cool, that's exciting. Okay, so let's talk about the product. Can you tell us what it is, what it does?
So absolutely. So the product in itself enables users, whether it's a DIY version, and I'll explain what that means in a second, or a serviced option, to very simply create 360 virtual tours, allow them to create pre-recorded narrated walkthroughs of the property as well. We're allowing them to upsell 24/7, whether it's on a property portal or their own website, to add dynamic content to the tours as well, whether it be video, whether it be images, street view, maps, etc. as well. In addition, we're working in various verticals outside of real estate, where we have added the facility to enable you to connect information labels, which I'm going to demonstrate to you shortly, to any external system as well. So whether you want to pull in real-time information, CCTV feeds, etc. as well into those systems. So again, we've allowed that. But probably our most prevalent and interesting feature right now, the most relevant feature right now, is EyeSpy Live, which allows you to host real-time video-based chat. So essentially, if you think FaceTime or Skype, embedded inside a 360 virtual tour that allows you to host viewings, at any point in time, anywhere, across any device, with up to 8 people as well. And the important aspects of that, and I think why this is so important right now, is what with the restrictions in place, social distancing restrictions with people right now, it's whether it's the seller doesn't want you in the house, or whether the buyer's nervous about going in the house, or whether it's just lockdown restrictions in place as a whole. A virtual tour, in my mind anyway, that doesn't have that functionality is akin to an agent saying, here's a set of keys, go and have a look at the property yourself. If you like it, let me know. If you don't, just disappear and I won't hear any feedback from you, which in reality, most agents wouldn't want to do. So, this feature for us is very important because it allows you to do a virtual accompanied viewing, and accompanied being probably the operative word here as well. You can see each other, you can see their feedback, you can discuss. Even before COVID, we saw a huge amount of increase in that particular feature because it reduced wasted viewings.
Sure.
Those times where you travel half an hour to go and see a property, something I don't like it. You've all just wasted half an hour. The sellers had to tidy up the house again, make sure the kids are behaving, and whatever was going on. That was where it's being used a lot, and it's obviously very relevant right now as well. But I'm going to explain a bit more about that because unlike some video-based sessions like Zoom, because essentially, we've had people turn around and say, why can't you do that over Zoom? There are some huge limitations when you talk about video streaming, which I'll explain in a little bit as well when I demo
Okay.
the platform.
Yeah. So I would love nothing more if I was looking to buy a house to sit in my pajamas, sipping my coffee while I'm on with the real estate agent. She's showing me all these homes, especially in the Bay
That,
Area. There's a ton of traffic here, and so to go visit 10 homes takes forever. And so if I can just look at them and tell them, yeah, I like that one. No, I don't like that one because of the layout or for whatever reason, it would be really nice.
Yeah, and you know what? And I think one thing that's come out of the recent situation with coronavirus, especially in the UK at least anyway, is the air's a bit fresh. People aren't driving as much. The air's fresher. The ocean's cleaner.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds a bit far fetched, but hopefully one of the things that comes out of this is maybe we're going to look after our planet a little better as well, and realise we're guests here. We don't own it. We're here for very short space of time so far, and we need to look after it. And I think one of the things that this tool will allow people to do is reduce those commutes,
Yeah.
and therefore really just add value to reducing overall emissions as
Yeah.
well.
Yep. Hopefully. Although in the Bay
Hopefully, we
Area,
can only hope. Yeah,
in Silicon Valley, the traffic's starting to pick up again. So.
yeah, I'm sure. I'm
All
sure.
right. So
Do you want me to demo the products?
I'd
It's
love
probably the
that.
best thing. Let
Yep.
me demo the platform to you. So let me just share my screen. Okay. So is that
Yep.
all on show now?
Yep.
Fine. So this is a new build UK-based property. It might look slightly different from what you're used to in LA with the pools and stuff out the back and etc. But this is what people live in England anyway, most of the time. So, but it's a demo example to show you what we can do with the platform. So I'll run through this with you. So basis of it is this was taken with a Ricoh Theta camera, which takes about 2 seconds to take an image. And I think why that's important right now as well is if you are going in to capture images of the property, you want to go in and out pretty quickly right now. This particular property is a 3-bedroom house. We were in and out of the property, having captured those images with a Ricoh camera within 10 minutes. So, someone doesn't want you in there very long. This is what you really need to be doing is get that in and out. So as you can see, you can move around the tour. You can see pretty much everywhere. You can see the sky. You can see everywhere. I'm sure most of your viewers will know what a 360 image is and a 360 virtual tour.
So I have a question on this.
Sure.
How did you take this picture without showing the person who was taking the picture?
Because we were hidden. So with these particular cameras, you can stand depending on the camera, between 10 and 20 meters away from the camera. So I think, from recollection, the person, because I was actually in the house at the time, I think the other person taking the pictures was just behind this fence here.
Okay.
But it's also got a timer. So
Yeah.
if you need to go, if you're doing a big garden shot, for example, and it's beyond 15 meters, you can set it to time after 10 seconds it takes a picture. So you take the picture and run, and hide basically.
I think there's also a feature that allows you to take it in 2 shots so that you can stand on either side. Yeah. Okay.
Correct.
I was just wondering
So,
if you had done that. Okay.
yeah, so there's solutions to ensure that you're not in the picture, basically. So one of the things, again, very simple, but one thing our clients wanted was branding in the tour as well. It's important for them to have their own branding.
Yep.
So as you can see here, where we have EyeSpy360 in the top right and the nadir image being what covers the tripod, both those areas and also the URL where it says EyeSpy360 VR right now, all 3 of those can be customized to branding as well. So that's obviously very important for their own realtors if they want to promote their own brand.
Nice. Okay. Very nice.
That's important. So we have the hotspots. Again, hotspots are what you will use to basically navigate between the spaces. Again, they're customizable. With our platform, again, we've got various video tutorials, etc. as well. But our best practice guide, where this is outlined, we suggest taking 1 picture per room, not multiple photos as well, which aligns itself to what I said before. It's very quick to capture. You're in and out. But again, we can sort of the end result produces some really good features as well, which I'll explain. So front door, you can see a preview of the room we're walking into.
Yeah,
click
that's
on the
nice.
hotspot, we're in the next room and into the hallway and through into the kitchen as well. So, again, the point being, we're taking 1 particular image in this room and that's all we really need. This is enough for me to be able to look around, the whole space, look at the ceilings, look at the lights, look at the floor, and think, do I like the look of it? Yes, I do. Well, no, I don't. At the end of the day, a 360 virtual tour is a filter in the same way that photos and the floor plan is. If you're on Zillow or on another portal or on your own website, customers want to go through it quickly, and identify, it's a thought. Do I like it? Do I not? No, move on to the next one. Yes, I do. I'll spend a little more time doing that. So you have that. So this is, again, the way that you navigate, or one of the ways that you can navigate around the tour. So let me just go back to the front of the house just to show you. So although you wouldn't necessarily position them this way, but for demo purposes, these are information labels. Again, these can be customized, but you can add all sorts of content. So in this instance, this is video. Let me just turn the sound down on that. So this is just drone video of London, for example. And again, that will move around with the screen. Because this is all browser based as well, so we're looking at it at the moment on Chrome. So this will work on mobiles, tablets, desktops, VR headsets, smart TVs, etc. It will work on pretty much most devices. So there are no apps anywhere in a workflow to download as well. So that's also quite important to us, and it will work pretty much on most browsers. So let me just close that. You can add text, you can add links back to your own website, in the same way that you'd add a hyperlink in Word, for example, similar way. So you can add maps, so you can look around the area. You can add street view. So there's the house again, so we can have a look and walk around the neighborhood and see what it's like, etc. as well. So again, all different types of content. And as I said, you can pull in websites into that. You can use iframes. You can pull in external content. You can do all sorts of things. It's very flexible in that respect. Now, one of the things also to show you, and let me just refresh the screen again. On the bottom left, what you can see is a 3D model that's rotating right now. As I move through into the front of the house as well, that flattens down and shows me the floor that I'm on at this point in time. As I move up to the landing on the first floor, that will change. Now, if I click on that, that will open it up in full screen. So what you can see now is I'm rotating around. I can zoom in, I can zoom out. The upper floor and the lower floor, ground floor and the second floor are just semi-transparent right now, but we can change that by clicking on all of them. We can go between meters and feet depending on where you are geographically. We can look at the ceiling as well, which is quite important, because I know some of the other platforms enable you to do that, but obviously this allows you to look at the light fittings and what's going on the ceiling and the floors, etc. as well. But let's just have a look and go back to the first floor. So if I just zoom in here, what you can see where the rooms are labeled, we've also got the measurements here. Our system automatically extracts the measurements from the images, whether you've taken them with any of 52 cameras. There's even a unit we work with called the VR kit, which turns your mobile phone into a 360 camera. And if you've got a recent phone, and I'll show you an example of this later with my iPhone 11 Pro, you can get some really good images out of that. So it doesn't matter what device you're using, as long as you follow our best practice guide, we can get to about 98% accuracy on the floor plans right now with the measurements. So again, this can be used for navigation. If I want to jump into that bedroom, I just jump in there, I'm in the bedroom, and then I can click on the model again, come out and go into bedroom one, for example. So again, it's used for navigation purposes. You also get a floor plan with our platform as well. So if I just go through, let me show you, if I go through to the ground floor and go back into the kitchen, it automatically creates a floor plan for you. Now this example has got kind of, I don't like it, it's got garish colors on it, but they are very simple. We also do a more detailed version if you want that as well. But what we are seeing right now is the eyeballs are more on the 3D model than the actual floor plan itself, because it gives you a lot more information. So let me just close that down. So just to explain before I go on to some of the other two main features, because I mentioned it before, there's two options to this, DIY, and also we have a service called TAS, which is Tours as a Service. Now the difference between those is DIY, which tends to be used by, say, a lot of the photographers, is where they will upload the images and create the tour themselves and create the 3D model themselves and create the floor plan. It's a very simple process. We've got that patented. We've got a very unique workflow, which is probably, I would say, 100% quicker than any other DIY platform out there right now. But the majority of people use our TAS service, which is where we do that for them. So all they literally would do is take the pictures, upload them from their mobile phone, their tablet, or their computer to our platform, pay the processing fee, which I'll explain in a second. And once they've done that, within 24 hours maximum, they will then get 2 links back, one of which is MLS compliant, one of which is branded with all their own branding in there. But they will get the connected 360 virtual tour, 3D model, floor plan with the measurements back to them. Now we are working on some features this year, which is going to bring that 24 hours down to a maximum of 5 minutes, minimum of 1 minute. So point of that being is that you would upload the photos, take them, and probably by the time you're back in the car, all these assets are going to be ready for you as well. So that's something we're working on right now as well. It's just about speeding up the whole process.
Oh, wow.
So
That's a
that,
game changer.
yeah, so as I said, it's all about, we just want to make things quick and simple for people as well. And that's a kind of focal point for our business. So just to show you a couple of the other features that we have, and probably best actually to demonstrate this actually on our website, so EyeSpy360.com. So again, this is all localized. So if you land on it in any country, it's localized in the language, currency, etc. as well. So I'm going to show you the UK version, but in fact, just to make it easier, let's just put it in the US as well. We go to pricing. So on our site, and again, anyone can do this. If you just go to this example tour here, this is called EyeSpy Play. This is what I was referring to before. It allows people to create a pre-recorded narrated walkthrough of the property. So if someone lands on this at 11 o'clock at night and they're on Zillow and they're looking around, the agent's got the opportunity to upsell the property and talk to someone and take them around the property. So let me just demonstrate that to you as well. So you have a message here that says, would you like to watch a pre-recorded guided tour? This is a dynamic message. This can change, and I'll explain that and it'll make sense in a second, but let's just click on play guided tour for now.
Hello and welcome to Miram House. With majestic columns and intricate stonework, Miram House is the pinnacle of luxury living.
I'm just going to turn that voice down, but hopefully you can hear we have a nice English lady talking about property. Now you can fast forward through this as you're seeing, you can rewind, etc. as well. But what's interesting about this is, although it's actually taking us around as she's talking about the property,
well-sized walk-in wardrobe, as well as the stunning.
It's actually still a 360 image. Now I can just put my mouse on the screen, or if I'm on my mobile, I just tap it with my finger. It's actually still a 360 image, which allows me to stop it and say, well, hold on, I want to look around the bedroom in my own time. What's this information label? That's the alarm system, right? So then we have to look around. What's this? This is a video. It's a video overview of the property. So it might be that I want to watch that, and there you go, it's loaded, and we start watching the video, watch it at the end, and think, okay, fine, click play, and it will carry on with the viewing. So that's something called EyeSpy Play. Let me just stop that there.
Yes, I did. When I was playing with it, I did notice that you could navigate yourself or do the video, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's all about what's the experience for the customer, going back to it being customer centric, because you don't want to. One of the frustrations I've always had with those, when people before virtual tours are doing like video viewings, you're only seeing what the person that's taking the video wants you to see, which is frustrating. I want to be in control. I want to look at what I want. I want to spend the time that I want within the tour as well. So, sorry, I've got you in my top right-hand corner. My video's over there. So when I'm looking at you actually when we're talking. I'm looking
no problem.
At strange places. Let me put you right in the middle of the screen. There you go. So just going back to the tour. So this is something now I'm going to show you called EyeSpy Live. This is what I was talking about, FaceTime, Skype, embed inside a virtual tour. So it works in two different ways, reactively and proactively. Reactively being that you can have a call to action in the tour that someone will be looking around and they can click on it and call you. We're working with a lot of businesses that are integrating that into a calendar system. So when they click on it, it will open up a calendar and show the availability of the agent. They can book time in. It might be for 3 hours time, it might be tomorrow. And then everyone would click on that in the same way that you would use Zoom, which is what everyone's getting used to right now.
Yep.
Works pretty much the same way. And you can do up to 8 people in any one session. The alternative is for an agent to be more proactive. It might be that they've just taken on the property, they think it's perfect for their client, and they phone up and that client's on their phone somewhere, sitting by the pool, wherever they are, turn around and say, right, I've got a property I want to show you. I'm going to literally send you a message on WhatsApp, text message, email. Click on it. I'm going to show you around the property. So we've built it into the systems that they can also be proactive. So the way that works, I'm going to show you both aspects. This message here, which I said can change, where it says, I would like to watch the pre-recorded guided tour. This is the dashboard. Now, for this purpose, these are the different tours. These are, where the tours exist, where they're created. But for now, this is what I want to show you. This is the control panel for EyeSpy Live. Now, because I'm offline and I've created a pre-recorded tour, this message says, would you like to watch a pre-recorded guided tour? I'm an agent. I've woken up in the morning. I've had my coffee. I've gone into my home office or wherever I'm based at the moment, and I've now set myself as online. And if you've got multiple users in your group, you can add those users in this area here, and you would see all those users online, who's offline as well in that session. So let me just refresh that. So I clicked on it the first time. Now you can see that message says, I'm available for a call right now. And you can upload your own picture or avatar here as well. Now, because that's changed, you can still instigate a play pre-recorded tour at the bottom here with the icon as well. So that doesn't fully disappear. Now, what I'm going to show you is how this works. I'm not going to follow through with it in totality, because I'm going to show you the end result, which is the live tour, when I show you how it works in a proactive way. But suffice to say, I'm looking around this property. I quite like it. I want to speak to the agent. I click on Start Live Chat as a customer, and the agent,
Whoa.
when you hear it ringing, they get a call coming in through the browser. Let me just turn my sound down a little bit just for now. So what you've got is an approximate location of where they are, what the property is, and this is called 12 Demo Street, this property, what device they're on, is it a mobile, yes or no? So you can kind of get an idea of how big the screen is that they're looking at maybe. And an approximate location. You can either answer that or ignore that, but for now I'm just going to ignore that.
Oh,
And
wow.
I'm going to go back to this screen
There's no
and
hiding.
just start it another way. So I'm just going to open up my Hangouts, because I've got my colleague, hopefully, just waiting, working from home, that's going to be doing the session with me. The other way of doing it is this button here that says shared viewing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on that. And these circles is where the customer, or my colleague, in this instance, Andrea, is going to appear. In the bottom right, that's where I'm going to appear. Now, what it's done is identified on my computer, at least, that I have Skype and email on my computer. If I open that up on my mobile phone, for example, it would pull up text message, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, anything else you have. Now, if I click on any of those apps, it will open those up, self-populate this link. So just think of that link as like a Zoom link, for example, very similar. So I can click on that, I can take that, I can put it in someone's diary or other people's diaries for 12 o'clock tomorrow. I can send that instantly to someone now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on that icon and copy that link. And I'm just literally going to send that to Andrea via Hangouts. So hopefully she's going to see that any second. And when she does, which she has now as well, when she clicks on that link, and I don't know whether she's doing this on her desktop or mobile, I will appear in the bottom right and Andrea will appear in the top left. So there you go. There's me waving a lot there. And you've got Andrea in the top left. Now, you're being waved at, Andrea. I know you probably can't hear everyone.
Yeah, you probably
anyway,
can't see me, but okay.
She can't see you, but I've just told her you're waving. So with this as well, so had I sent that to 3, 4, 5 people, you'd see 3, 4, 5 bubbles, up to 8 bubbles down here with everyone independently there. So we can see each other, we can talk to each other, we can engage. If I go into a room that Andrea doesn't like, or she pulls a face, I can see that. I can say, what is it you don't like about it? As opposed to a standard virtual viewing without this sort of tech where you have no idea what their thoughts are as well. So this is really, going back to what I was saying before, this is as close to an accompanied viewing as you're going to get. But what this does, every movement that I make on this screen is mimicked on everyone else's device in real time. If I open up this Street View label, that's going to open up on their device as well. So it allows me to take someone around and they see everything they want to see. Now, going back to what I was talking about with EyeSpy Play, where you want someone else to take control and they want to see what they want to see. Andrea, I can actually let go now, and Andrea can control this. So she's the one taking the lead now. She's taking me around the property. It might be that she's happy with everything, but she just wants to ask some questions about the kitchen. So she's now taking me around the kitchen. We can engage. She can open up those information labels. I can now see what content she's opening as well. So, we can see the floors. We can see the ceilings together. We can see the appliances. We can discuss. We can engage. And that's why this is so important and why we're seeing a lot of interest in this particular product right now.
So that's the difference between just simple Zoom, is that she can control it or you can control it.
Well, she can control it as well, but I think one of the other important things to think about is we are a mobile first business, i.e. everyone has a mobile phone that just in their pocket. Whether you want to watch Netflix, whether you want to order stuff on Amazon, that people expect to be able to do everything on their mobile phone now. Now, the issues, constraints with video-based streaming from a mobile perspective, especially right now, because obviously there's a huge amount of demand on the networks, mobile networks and broadband networks, because most people are working from home, is that if you are doing this with someone on a mobile phone and their signal drops from 5G to 4G to 3G, for example, especially if you drop to 3G, which happens quite a lot for me in the UK, it means that the bandwidth is very small. Now, if you're streaming video, and we've already all experienced this where it all goes blocky, if it goes blocky, the viewing becomes redundant because you can't see the screen. Now, without going into too much detail, because it's something that's proprietary to us, this does not work on the basis of video streaming. Whereas you would have megabits of data, so the amount of information flowing between devices, especially between 1 to 8 people, if you have 8 people on that session, that's a lot of data that could be, not corrupted is the wrong word, but could be hindered by drops in broadband capacity, whether it's on a mobile network, whether it's on a Wi-Fi network as well. Ours doesn't work in that way. It's not, what the sort of data that we send is kilobits. So it would never be affected. This would work as it is right now, even on a 3G, possibly even on GPRS signal, which is like really old school 2G. So it's not affected by that. And that's something that's really important to think about when you're looking at a solution right now. And that's something we designed from day one, because we always think about what's going to work on a mobile, what's going to be simple, what's scalable. And scalability has to put mobile into the equation. It's massively important. Anyway, Andrea, you've probably got lots of work to do, so I'm going to leave you to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrea.
So that's our platform regarding the features. So you've got the 360 tour, the 3D model, lots of customization in there, whether it's the information labels themselves, the hotspots, the branding. You've got EyeSpy Live, you've got EyeSpy Play, but also one of the other things I wanted to show you as well is something we've actually just released right now through a partner of ours as well, is virtual staging, which is something that you can do with our platform, again, using any camera. So just to give you some examples of that. So if I show you this one, there's virtual staging, there's full renovation, and then there's development-based CGIs. So with this, so I've just got my son running up to my window right now. So hopefully he's not going to knock on the window, which he is doing. Anyway, sorry, just fine. So with this, so we've got basically the property here that we're looking at, virtual staging. So there's nothing in here right now, as you can see. This is an empty flat, but then we can stage it. So we can put property in.
Amazing. You know, that's high demand too.
Yeah. So, again, a very similar example, section 1, nothing in here, and then it's furnished. So this is where the walls are fine, the floors are fine, but we just have furniture in there. So to give you another example, is full renovation. So this is an example of what it could look like. For example, the property. So the floors and the ceilings, this is actually what it does look like right now.
Whoa.
So, I'm sure there's lots of occasions where realtors going out and thinking, imagine what it could look like. And not everyone has amazing imagination. This is an example of how you can actually get that across. So, to give an example, this is what the kitchen looks like right now with a cage door. I don't know why you've got a cage door on a kitchen, but this is what it does look like. This is what it could look like.
That is amazing. Okay, I know a lot of customers who would love this. Just so, real estate agents love this. This is
we're amazing. Seeing a lot of interest. And then again, this was because people were asking us about this, and we've been looking into it for the last 6 months, and that's why we're doing this now. And to take this a step further, and this is really wow, is for developers. So in the UK, and it's probably equivalent in the UK, the average spend on a show house is about £250,000, probably about 350 maybe. In the US. So what we've done is moving forward is full CGIs. So everything you're seeing here is generated on a computer, the grass, the trees, everything. So none of this is real. So this allows builders or developers to build a property that can be viewed across any device, even a VR headset, without having the expense of building the property. So again, we can look everywhere, we can move around the property. This is a room. So it's photorealistic. To give you an example, if I just zoom in here, you can see the stitching cushions. So it really is the detail, it's huge on there. So we can have a look around, we can go into the kitchen. So it's the same thing. You can walk around the entire property, but none of it exists. So these are things that we have seen demand for, and this is why we've listened to people and why we've done it. So I thought I really want to show you that, because that's something we're actually just releasing this week, and I thought it was important to be able to demonstrate to your viewers as well.
Well, it's obvious that you listen to customers, because you're going through all these features, and it's like, yep, that's one that people ask for, and yep, and you're just checking off the boxes. So it matches what you're saying. So it's good.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's our product. That's our platform.
That's awesome. I understand why you're very popular. I think that you've created something that answers a lot of people's needs. It's terrific. It rivals very closely to some other companies that I know about very well. So yeah, looks good. I love it.
Yeah, so we've got, as I said, we've got a lot of other things, some really exciting other things we're bringing out over the next, few months, over the next 12 months as well. The only things I can say right now is just making it simpler, it's making it quicker, it's going to make it more affordable. well.
Wow.
And just, one of the things on that to talk about pricing, because I think this is quite important too, is, we've recently changed our pricing model, and again, it's about been listening to people.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the frustrations that a lot of people have had is, the spiraling costs,
Yep.
as well from a
Yeah.
hosting perspective. So the way that our platform actually works right now, and there's two elements to it, is you have a monthly subscription fee, and that monthly subscription fee, let me just pull these details up actually, just to go through. So the monthly subscription fee is set at $19.99, and that's our recommended price. If we're doing deals with larger brokerages, etc., there's a bit of flexibility in there as well, but that includes unlimited hosting, unlimited views, and access to absolutely every single one of our features on an unlimited basis. So you can spend 10 hours every single day using EyeSpy Live, and that's the fixed cost. You don't pay more than that. You can have one property in your account. You can have 1 million properties in your account. That stays fixed, the hosting.
Wow.
It doesn't go up and up and up the more tours you have in your platform as well. The only other cost right now is a processing fee, which is essentially, rule of thumb is, it's $1 per 360 image with a minimum spend of $15. Again, we can be flexible on that if there's volume. But what that is, that's what you're paying for. It's a one-off cost for us to create the 360 virtual tour, 3D model, floor plan, etc. for you. And once you pay for that, it's yours. And also on that note as well, with our system, the data and everything is owned by the user as well. We don't have any rights over that. We don't own the data. We are a service-capable business, and that's also something that our customers are also asking for, is ownership. So that's the way we've gone. That's the route we're taking. So there's a low fixed subscription cost, which gives you unlimited use, which isn't going to spiral out of control the busier you get, the bigger you get as well. But once you've paid for that particular tour, it's yours. There's no additional cost. You don't ever have to delete anything. If need be, you can come back and you unpublish it, and if it goes back on sale a year, 2 years later, or 5 years later, you republish it. There's no additional cost to that. And also, more importantly, if someone had renovated, say, one of the rooms,
Mm-hmm.
you can just go back and take that one picture and put it into the tour. You don't have to go back and redo the whole tour again.
Wow. Okay, so the $15 is when you do it, but you can do it yourself, right?
But you could do it yourself as well, which is, there's an alternative subscription platform which is based on how many tours you want to have published at one point in time as well. So that's all on our platform. All the information, all the subscriptions are on our platform as well.
Yeah, terrific. Wow. Well, I'm just so impressed. It's a great product. I know that a lot of people out there have talked about it. It's gotten some pretty rave reviews. So if you haven't checked it out yet, go to EyeSpy360.com. That's EYESPY, the numbers 360.com.
Yeah.
Check it out. Wow, thank you so much, Andrew, for taking the
pleasure.
time today. I've learned a lot, and I hope everybody out there watching has too. I do encourage you to check it out. It's a great product. You've answered so many customers' requests, and that's key to me because I'm customer support, as you know.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This has been Capture the World with Dee. I'll see you again next week. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.